Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to meet up with my friend Julian, and we're going to go out to Neversink Mountain in Reading, PA. The point of interest we're hoping to view today is called the Witch's Hat Pavillion, so I hope you'll join us. Hello, so just a little bit of history about the place that we're going to be visiting today. The structure is actually what's left over from a part of the Neversink Mountain Hotel, which burnt down in 1905. The hotel was a private hotel that was only open seasonally, and it catered to the more affluent people of the area. They ascertained that it was the work of arson, and that when this fire happened, it was so huge that people were actually taking tours up there to watch it burn. There was no fire company that serviced it. But the structure that's left there is a really cute little gazebo, and it does have the shape of a witch's hat. So I'm kind of curious to see how it was built and how they put the stones in. And, you know, maybe I'll see some of the other little structures and ruins along the way. I don't actually know what's there. I didn't look too far into it. But I hope you'll have fun today when we go along the trail, and especially getting up to this witch's hat. So unfortunately, the very first clip that I took when we arrived at the trailhead didn't have sound on. So we were just getting ready to head out and starting up the trail, and there was nothing, so I'm just talking. The first thing that we saw on the side of the trail was a little babbling brook, and then there was this huge, gorgeous rock formation. And this is still a clip that was coming out with no sound, so I'm just adding this in afterwards. So the trail so far is really well groomed. There's some gravel, and we're just going up that way. I haven't hit the steep part yet. Looking at some of the rock outcroppings, and we see this across the road. Not quite sure what that is. It's definitely a man-made structure, some kind of ruins of some sort. And if you notice, the rocks go like that down into the gorge. So whatever it was in layers. Don't really know anything about it though. It's a neat little thing to see. So you cross a little bridge down that way, and we're up here to another little bridge, which is a cross section. And to the left you can go on the Cove Trail, and that actually goes straight that way. But you can see that there's been trails made up around this humongous rock here. I guess just man-made trails of some sort. But we are going straight on the Witch's Hat Trail now. Yep, can go either way. So far it's pretty easy. Haven't hit the steep part. Just walking along, admiring the rocks. Let's just look upside down. A lot of cute little bridges here and creeks. So actually that first trail was not the Cove Trail. It was the Neversink Mountain Trail, which goes the entire way around the mountain. The one coming up here is the Cove Trail, and it is marked as such. But we are not going on the Cove Trail. We're staying on the same Witch's Hat Trail. So as you're walking, there's a couple of these kind of cool little wooden ramps to keep you out of the mud. So I kind of like this trail so far. Of course, I'm not at any difficult spots or anything yet. Just kind of, yeah, it's a little trail boardwalk. And it's just scattered throughout the trail. So the next pass you'll come, or intersection you'll come to, is one for Jack's Loop Trail, and you will go left to stay on the Upper Glen Trail towards the Witch's Hat. So at the top of a very steep climb, although it is a short climb, you'll be turning left to stay on the Upper Glen Trail. And then the path is a little more narrow here. Still pretty well groomed. I'm still out of breath. We'll get there. We just came up to this algae pool surrounded by concrete. That is a lot of algae. You cannot even see the water at any place. It is just completely covered. In a way, those things are still kind of pretty. The color is awesome. So the steep climb doesn't stop at that point. It starts again. So we're still going uphill and still out of breath. We're following these orange and purple blazes. They're on the trees. Both of them are together so far. But we got a little ways to go up this hill. So you get up to, it starts to get less of an incline for just a little bit. It's still an incline, just not as steep. And the map on All Trails is a little confusing, but we've just been following the orange and purple blazes. Right here we come up to, it looks almost like a utility road, which isn't marked on the map, strangely, but there's a trail straight across, and that looks to be the way up to the top of the mountain. Okay, so there's a second road after all the incline, and I believe this starts the Upper Glen Loop Trail, which is the trail we're following. So you have to hike up to this loop trail from where All Trails takes you to park. But that being said, this looks flat. I'll take it. So we're at about 1 mile, at the 1 mile point. We're going on this flat little road and come up to a yellow gate here. Don't really see any signs. There's a little path around it. I guess this was one of the roads that people used to get up here to go to the resort at one point. Yeah. So you come out and you'll be on this road for a very short time. It's Neversink Mountain Road, and then you'll go right back up into the woods. So there is no actual trail off to the left back up into the woods, but you just keep going down this road. I guess the road is the part of the actual trail, because you can still see the purple and orange blazes along the road here. So whoever curated the map on All Trails, as you know, these trails are curated by All Trails members and approved or not approved. So we'll see. Now, I don't know what this is. We're coming up to something with a little gate here. So this might be down here where we go up through. So let me stop and check my map. So there's 2 trails at that yellow gate. I'm taking this one to the right. It loops back around to that same trail. And I'm thinking it's because there's some scenic stuff back here. And what I see so far is a lot of giant rocks. Some graffiti. But this rock over here is pretty huge. It may be that someone cut this path out to see these magnificent rocks. Probably climbers come back here. Whether they're allowed or not, can't tell ya. But these are pretty awesome. And they've marked the trail with rocks alongside of it. Yeah, so cool. Huh? It's hard to see in here with all the sunlight. Once you get out of that, you can see this really cool rock. It has all these straight lines, cuts in it. I assume that this little side trail here is for people just to come back and check out these rocks, because there's graffiti just to hang out down here. And there's actually another one that goes up around, which I'm not going to take. We're just going to go right back out to the trail we were on. So you get to a point where there's this big electric thing and you have to turn. We're going to try turning right here, a sharp right, to get up to the structure. The map is definitely confusing on all trails, and it looks like whoever did the map, if you zoom in, they had to do a lot of backtracking. It doesn't look like that from the first glance. It looks like a simple walk up a mountain, go around a loop. Definitely not. So we're just kind of winging it here, seeing where this goes. Okay, 2.1 miles in, he says. We've just hit the structure. We're a little bit iffy because the map is so off, but I knew we weren't going to get lost. But check this thing out. It is so cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I've been wanting to come up here for such a long time. This, my friends, is the wicked. This looks we're going in. A lot of graffiti, as I was warned.
Surprising how the more ominous sign and such.
Yeah.
Like somebody made it.
Well, it's only called that because of its shape. It's actually not. Here's the thing. West End Pavillion, erected to the memory of William McIlvaine. It was a favorite spot of William among the hills, which he enjoyed, and it was named by him. 1892. It's just such a fantastic structure. I love the shape of it, regardless of what it's called.
They have to shake the rocks. You know, some of them.
Yeah, and this was just one of the structures they had on that property with a hotel. But you can see right out there, across from here, you look, and you can barely see it on my camera, but there's the Reading Pagoda. I thought it might be close enough to get really good pictures, but my camera won't zoom in that much. But it's that little tiny red thing in the middle.
Interesting.
You can just see the beautiful stonework and architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that it's lasted this long is incredible.
You have to shape this in old-fashioned way.
Yep.
You know, so they match in there.
Wow. And just, you can even see the outside is just so, there's different sizes and shapes of rocks that were used to make the forms.
And look.
Yeah, the other way.
It's
So,
a trash can in here.
Lots of
Yeah,
trash.
it's like,
This is a trail right behind, or in front of, I guess, the structure, and we're going to follow it, and it goes somewhere, but we don't know where. There was a little tent site maybe, not sure, but while we're here, just want to check it out. Can't.
whitetail.
They're running around up there. The one big one was standing right in the middle of the trail looking at us. So we saw some deer. There's a lot of deer up here, and came across this little structure that I had seen on another YouTuber's channel. Pretty sure it's just like a little outhouse, porta potty. It's all gated in though, and obviously not serviceable. It's still pretty cool to find old stuff like this. Yeah, not gonna go in there. So this trail that we're still following to see where it leads gets a little bit close, more weeds, a little overgrown. I'm just very curious as to where it goes. Actually, on another day, this might have been the best part of a trail. So, just my curiosity gets the best of me. I try to see where trails go. So we're at the top when we're approaching. I don't know what this thing is. Looks like a giant antenna. Lots of wires. It goes up to an electrical tower.
Yep.
Nice. It's a big open area up here. Never saw one of those. It's like the sun going up to the tower. The tower goes way up there. Way. You can see it through the trees, but it's pretty far up there. So this is an electrical tower spot that we've walked up to. Clearing. We don't need to really go any further. So that's pretty neat. And this will take you, I'm assuming, back. This is a promenade trail, but I'm going to check on my map, and it's a nice, wide, well-groomed path as well. Julian says this is a transmission tower, not an electrical tower.
Yep.
So I stand corrected. It sure is tall, where it is. Oh my gosh. So we just came out from the transmission tower and went to the pagoda, the gazebo, and right behind it is a trail, and it's probably the trail we missed along the road. It looks a little overgrown, but be prepared to just be adventurous when you come out to this mountain. But before we go down that trail, Julian noticed there's a really nice big open view here of Reading, and over there again, I have my battery attached, so is the pagoda on the hill.
And the buildings have the lights on.
Right. Really neat. Nice views. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. So as we approach the end of this, you can see that it's pretty high. I mean, these grasses are up to my shoulders in some places. And when we were looking for that other pathway up into the woods, this is why we didn't see it, because it is really overgrown through here. And the path, but here's what I'm going to tell you. If you are looking for this path, look for this thing. There's a yellow pole here and a slightly padded down path, but it doesn't look like a path, and you're on the road.
That one and this one.
But see, there is a sign. We just didn't see this pathway. So I'm home and settled, and I just wanted to close out the video by saying that, you know, it was a nice little walk today. There was a lot of incline. You saw where that started. It was a little more than what I anticipated, but it wasn't too bad. We made it up, and you know, once you were on the flat part and at the actual structure, the pavilion, after that there was really nothing to climb or anything. You just had to go down. Going down can be really hard on your knees, so it is one of those trails that if you have bad knees, I wouldn't advise it for you know, having to go that trail and go back down the hill that way. But overall, the total amount we walked was 4.5 miles, and it was a really nice day. There was some breezes, and we were in the woods most of the time in the shade. And the ride back home and out and back is an hour out from where I'm at in York to Reading, so it was 2 hours of drive time. And the trail total takes around an hour and 20 minutes if you're just going at a normal 1 to 2 mile per hour pace. There's multiple trails though on that mountain, and I'd like to go back and explore some of the other ones, you know, sometime, because there were lots of different structures on that mountain at one time, and I'm sure there's plenty of ruins to explore, and we saw a lot of deer and stuff, so there's a lot of wildlife up there. It could be a really interesting challenge to go on one of the longer trails out there. I hope you're all having a nice week, and namaste.